we've recently opened in the UK. So if you ask me whether Purtier can be marketable or not, I'd say yes. I've said it's actually a multi-billion-dollar company with $6 billion in asset revenue, and it only caters to one health product, and that's Purtier. In fact, it's the first oral capsule that contains bioactive stem cell that is marketed commercially and not facilitated in clinics. So majority of the doctors in the Philippine Stem Cell Society, including the president himself, Dr. Leo Olarte, is heavily marketing and promoting Purtier in the United States as well. The president of the Philippine Medical Association and the president of the Hospital Association in the Philippines is also marketing Purtier. If maybe you'd like to give it a try first before you think about expanding it in your area. At the end of the day, it's best for you to quantify any progress in recovery when taking supplements such as this.
Absolutely.
Because it's not really curative or diagnostic. It's not drugs. However, we have FDA certification, GMP, HSA. We even have an international sales cert for it. So it's pretty safe to consume on an international level, but I would still advise that you may want to consume it personally first before before of thinking to expand it commercially.
You're still young. I don't think you have health problem, do you? You look young.
No, now I'm fine. Till today I'm fine.
That's good. Thank God. We hope.
But like my father, like my mother, India is a completely a diabetic state. So you can say the 60% population is facing diabetic problem. Even in my family, my uncle, my mother, everyone is having diabetic. And
right.
And now I'm at the age of 37, 38, and hopefully by crossing 40, even I can face the same problem. So India is a diabetic state.
Doc, is it both your mother and father who's diabetic or just one part?
No, both.
Okay, then yeah, there's a very high percentage of inheriting it.
You can't only inherit their property. You must inherit diabetes.
Absolutely. 60% population is having diabetes. Even the hospitals are working mostly on diabetic patients. Every, and even the public is facing problem just for care, guidance, diabetic. The food habit is different in India. And
but like Philippines, because they drink a lot of Coca-Cola, see? Coke.
Yes.
That's the problem. What about India? Is it because the cost is Coca-Cola or
like
curry or whatever?
Coca-Cola is one factor. There are so many factors also involved but somehow you can say the genetical, or you can say, like you earlier said, is inherited by your absolutely
right. In relation to that, I think I have a video of a testimonial of a top doctor. Yeah, he was the past president of the medical association. So he has been taking insulin shot for 22 years. But because we enter a phase of saturation, where our bodies start rejecting the medication, and then everything starts to fluctuate even after shots. So there are many periods of being hypo and hyperglycemic. So when he started taking Purtier, but he injected himself with insulin at the same time, he went severely hypo. And then he decided to not do the insulin shot and just take Purtier. And up until now, it's almost 3 years, he's no longer taking the insulin. Instead, he's taking Purtier. So somehow, I think the formulation in Purtier are natural anti-glycemic. They have this effect of organic insulin, where they could naturally lower down your glucose level without, because usually your pancreatic beta cell and are able to produce its own insulin and glycogen, right? So somehow
This
some of
one,
the
oh,
formulation of
sorry.
Pure is able to naturally lower it down. Yeah. Go ahead, Erica.
Yeah, this one is one of our Indian Malaysian client, diabetic,
Diabetic. It's a
supposed to
diabetic,
cut off the leg. Yeah.
diabetic food.
After that, taking Purtier, it's gone.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, diabetic as well. Supposed to cut off the leg already. You see, all rotten. Mm. After Purtier is okay. A Malaysian Indian guy.
Marketing aside, I've noticed it in several evidence-based testimonial by clients, where they have before and after laboratories, including my own father. He's been diabetic for the past 25 years. And when he, of course, he took metformin for many, many years, but it was still fluctuating. And his legs, his extremities are showing signs of gangrene. So the doctors was afraid of amputation because blood is no longer circulating. And then when he started taking Purtier, I could show you right now his laboratory. It totally went on normal face. Here, give me 1 second. Let me show it to you, okay? Oh, sorry. I'm only logged in. I'm not able to show it to you. But Aubrey, do you want to screen share to me? Basically, his laboratories are now controlled. It's been several years. His FBS, his fasting blood sugar, remains at well below 8. Yeah, well below 8. And although his HGBA1C is sort of in the borderline, but it has never been like that. Here, let me show you. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, absolutely. I can.
Okay, that's great. Okay, let me just scroll up a bit. It was a discussion I had with one of my partners. Aha. So here's my father. Here's my father. Yeah, that's him. Emmanuel Sina. My name is Ann Sina. So yeah, he was having irregular beating of the heart. He's diabetic for many years. His blood pressure just kept fluctuating, and then he started taking Purtier without metformin. Okay, but in all honesty, I wouldn't advise it to extremely go that far. No, if it's possible to continue Purtier together with prescription, that would be best. When it's stabilized, and the medical doctor said that they could lower down dosage or change brand or remove it completely. So then only should the patient stop its medication. My father, his diabetologist really told him to stop taking metformin when it normalized. So he just had to supplement with Purtier. So yeah, this is the laboratory of my father. You'll be very surprised. His blood sugar remains at 83. All his indicators remain normal, from uric, creatinine, cholesterol, SGPT. Although his HGBA1C was at 6.6, but the normal range is 6.3. So that's not bad for somebody who's 25 years diabetic. And it's remained like that for many years. Even me. This was actually me. There was a time when I was diagnosed with I was diagnosed with early breast cancer. So they found several tumors in my left breast. These green areas are the masses of of tumor.
Not my fault. I was very gentle. It was not my fault.
No, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It has something to do with my genes.
It's
So
breast.
I opted against chemo because chemo, by research and statistics, 97% it recurs after chemo. Not to mention all the adverse effects, no. So I just took Purtier, no chemo, no radioactive, no surgery, no mastectomy, nothing of that sort,
Nothing.
just Purtier. And I completely went negative. You won't believe it. You really went. It has 8 tumors in there, but I went negative.
Negative both. Negative both.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, I went negative. I couldn't believe it myself. None of my 6 resident doctors couldn't believe it. And stem cell is generally okay. You see, this guy is a priest from Italy. So his SGPT was 110, and it should only be around 10 to 50, right? So it's
It's a
110,
range.
and it's extremely high. But after he started taking Purtier, it went down to 36. His SGPT went down to 36. So that's something that we should, it's, and there are many cases. I love to collect evidence-based laboratories. Cysts from 4.5 to 1.4 without anything. So I if you ask me, and it's an honest advice, I'd play conservative with it. I'd try it for myself first. And then if it really works and you're able to quantify it, then go for it. It's something that could help a lot of people, because in the Philippines, it's 1.5 million pesos to have a 6 months therapy. In the United States, it's 23,000 USD to have a 6 months therapy. But this new oral capsule from New Zealand is practically 90% cheaper than anything in the stem cell market right now. Yeah. Okay.
It's a completely a new thing for India. I think it's a
Yes, you will be the first to bring it
because
there.
we haven't expanded to India yet. So if we do expand, there's a regulation in the company. We only open in a country if somebody reaches a status, a certain ranking, and we call that a Pegasus ranking. So if you reach that ranking, then you'll earn the privilege and rights to open in your area.
Right, absolutely. I can understand.
Yeah.
Even we started getting results, a lot of people will get attracted through this way.
Yeah. You can help them.
Because of breast cancer, you can in India you can find every disease which is nowadays going common. The health is a big issue nowadays.
It's true. If you would research a book, it's written by Dr. Peter Glyden. He's an MD and also a nutritionist. He believes that most cancer is caused by nutritional and immunodeficiency that sort of triggered the abnormal cancer growth. So he said, if you'd like to do something about it, rather than an elimination methodology like radioactive or chemo, maybe you try to go holistic and try fixing the hormonal imbalance or nutritional deficiency like B16 and B12, or maybe a lack of selenium. Those are factors that could probably affect the mutation on the breast gene. They call it the HER, or the human epidermal growth factor receptor chromosome number 17, that affects the breast cancer gene mutation. So he said it has something to do with a complete nutrition deficiency. So maybe it's, I mean, you're a doctor. I know, you'd have skepticism with this, but maybe it may work if you'd give it a try. Try being open to it. I'm not sure.
No, definitely. It's helpful for us. Usually we do try something new. So again, it's a new concept and a new idea.
Yes,
Definitely we get tested. Definitely we get tested.
Yeah. For me, I look at for me, I'm a businessman. I look at income, indefinite income. Even though I'm old, I cannot work. I'm on a wheelchair or whatever. I still have income. You see, for those employers, once they have no job or no business, no more income. You see,
Definitely,
yes, definitely. Not unless businessmen they do investment.
definitely,
But
definitely.
for the pandemic now,
Mhm.
any investment is bad. you know,
In,
but our sales is boosting. Our sales is very very high in March because the rich want to eat. The rich don't want to die.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
Everyone, just because of COVID, everyone is working on immunity. Everyone is maintaining their
right.
diet, like everything. What they
Yeah.
can do, they are doing. So
Yeah,
COVID,
it's not surprising that you get a lot of questions like that from your client. Hey, can I have something? Gives me immunity. You know, yeah,
money is not a issue nowadays. The
yes,
thing
that's
is
right.
that the concept should be accepted by the population. Definitely the
True.
spread or word to mouth probability is more effective than other mode of communication.
Mm,
Now the
mm,
social media is more effective nowadays. People more
yeah,
everybody stop watching television. They are watching Facebook, they are watching Instagram. So these are the mode of communication which are changing in last one, you can say, decade, last 1 decade. So things are quite different.
yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
things have changed.
Yeah.
Let us hit India together. Let us hit India
Yeah.
together.
In,
We have done
Yes.
how,
Philippines. We have
We are totally
succeeded. We've done Philippines.
there.
We've succeeded. We are looking for a new country. Let's start with you.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How can we start? Tell me the process. Definitely
Ah.
we will work out and we will start.
Mm.
Philippines is a beautiful country. I have read only the literature part and see the videos. It's a island country. You can say more than 7,500 islands. Uh, and it's a great country.
Let Aubrey draw
Nice in
out
the
the
Philippines.
business plan for you. Aubrey
Oh,
can draw the business plan
yeah.
for you. So,
Okay, Doc. I will do that. Let's have a
yeah.
meeting again.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
no issue.
Bye-bye,
Thank you
Doc.
very much, Doc.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thank you so
Doc.
much
Thank
for the
you so much
interest.
for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Bye.
Doc. Bye-bye po.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Doc.
Bye.